Good afternoon, everybody. All right, so we are back again. All right, so today I am working on a 16 fill since we got some transistors in, and I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. I know it's been blowed up at least one other time. We've got gold-colored caps, which is what I used back in December of 19 when I built this, and he took it someplace else and had them repair it after he blew it up. And then it's come back around here. We have, which I think it's already uploaded, but it's got a lot of damage on the inside. Let me see if we can get the, I think that's the right one. I am using the other camera today, so bear with me here. Anyways, I mean, you can see we've got a ton of resistors that he's burned up. I mean, he's burned up resistors on the input and the output. We pulled everything out as far as on that. The only thing that I think is still good is going to be on the capacitors on the feedbacks. So I've got those in a separate bag, so I can pull those out and reuse those when we go to finish putting this all back together. But anyways, like I said, there's irreparable damage there. I don't even know what all they've done here as far as from the original tune. It's, yeah. So we went ahead and we pulled out the input, the input coil, the output coil. We're going to remake those and, put it back to where it looks a little bit more presentable and retune everything, since we're going to have to put all new transistors in this. Hello, Sasquatch. New Brunswick, Canada. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, got the camera in a little bit different location from what we normally run it at. Like I said, just trying something again a little different, but this is kind of more of an overhead view. So I'm hoping that it'll actually make it a little bit easier. Zoom it out a little so you guys can kind of see a little more. But anyhow, like I said, just a lot of damage. I think he just kept running and running and running and running. The other thing too that's kind of got me concerned is I've noticed that there's a lot of white around the output combiner here, and I'm thinking I'm going to wind up pulling an inductance test off of this and check to see if the ferrite's okay. I have actually seen these if it's a really, really bad, horrendous issue as far as that they had. I've actually seen where it will actually take out the inductors themselves where the ferrite is inert. So I want to check that as well before we go ahead and put that back together. I'll check it on the input and the output, and if need be, I'll make new combiners. But that's what I'm actually kind of afraid of, just with some of the chalking and what have you that I've seen here. Also, the zip tie that used to be around it. Well, there's part of it where it's gotten melted. There again, I don't know what the scenario is. I wasn't there when it detonated on him. So, yeah. Anyways, the nice thing is I've already got all the old all the old resistors are removed. Like I said, we got the feedbacks out. I went ahead and pulled, just before we started the video, went ahead and pulled all the screws out of the transistors. So now we can go through and start pulling those, and we're going to go ahead and get those replaced. So I'm actually going to start with the one that I think is going to be the hardest, which is the one way over here up close to the front, since I have the least amount of room to work with. So, and I decided I'm going to use my big iron for this. I found that most of the time the big iron, because where it gets hot it'll heat it up a lot faster and uh, have a lot less problems getting it removed. So when they first came out with the HGs and they turned them gold, which was one of the things I actually kind of like that. But the other side of that too is I have seen where the gold ones, and I think that's the reason why he went back to the black ones. Um, you know, I've had really good luck out of these when they first introduced them with the gold writing, and then we started having a lot of problems with them. So, and one of the things that I really wish that we could get done, and I'm going to try to make mention of that to Mr. North, is I would love to have some kind of an actual lot number. I don't know if the 16, like in this case here where it says 16D08, I don't know if that is actually represented by his lot number or not, but it's just hard to fathom that, you can run that number for that many years and it's still, you know, we're still not out. Because I mean, I know several builders that buy, hundreds and hundreds of these, if not thousands, for their repairs and for their builds. So it's just kind of hard to kind of fathom. I could be wrong. Maybe he's making 50,000 at one time. um, I don't know if any of us know that answer. So hopefully it won't take too long. We'll get these transistors out and clean that board up. Today's actually been a really nice day outside. I mean, granted, I've spent most of my time today here in the shop, but the weather overall has been really nice. It's been in the mid 50s today. Sunshiny here in Indiana. And if you dressed halfway decent, it actually had been decent bike weather today. So what's the weather like up there in Canada today? And since we've got one of our neighbors here watching. Well, hello, Mr. Three Maid. Hopefully you're getting better today. I know you've been sick here for a little while. I know most of the time, the evening time works out better for doing live feeds and stuff, but where I have to go to bed so early now, working day shift, I usually kind of cut off a little bit earlier in the evening and try to relax a little bit before going in. So, or going to bed, that is. Yeah, I'm really curious on this because of where every output transistor, or excuse me, output resistor and input resistor all were burnt on this. That's the main reason why I'm just pulling all the transistors and just planning on brand new. because I'm not even going to try to. I'm not going to try to mix match and hope that we come up with enough. -1 Celsius. Yeah, yeah. My wife gets that kind of weather too over there. Um, and she's still complaining about it. Getting down into the minus weather, which -1 and -1 degrees Celsius isn't really that bad. It's still cold. Don't get me wrong. At least it's cold to me. I've been sitting there listening to Snake Doctor on the radio today. I've had the radio turned way down, but been listening to that. I'm getting a pick underneath there just right. It sure is wanting to be a bogger. There we go. Have to clean all the little tick turds and stuff from the solder here out as well. Well, that one just does not want to budge. There we go. I'm a little tight in that corner. The weather in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Huh. Let's do that here real quick. You can do that right here on the phone and still be on the live feed. And close that out. Nova Scotia. Okay. Well, for us, it says 25 degrees, which that's what we're familiar with, which is using Fahrenheit scale. That's one of the things that I'm having to try to get used to with my wife. There again, because she's used to the metric system. So 70%. Yeah, 29 to 27. That's really not that bad of weather, which we've got unusually warm weather today ourselves. 11 degrees next Sunday. Yeah, that's not real bad. See more details. Yep, 100% snow. Which I have found that when it's right around that 20 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit, seems like that is that's that key point where it seems like it wants to snow the most. 14 miles an hour wind. Well, that's enough to get you cut. Hello, Bruce. And continues until tomorrow morning. Yeah, that's gonna suck. How's Bruce doing? Yeah, I got cinnamon candy over here that I've been eating, and suddenly I want a piece of butterscotch, but I'm not going to drive back into town to get a piece of candy. Not again, anyways. You been shooting much skip here lately, Bruce, or what have you been up to? I haven't heard hiding or hear from you in a while. Of course, I don't think I've seen or heard much of you since I've went to Days. Yeah, I'm kind of enjoying it now. I'm starting to get more acclimated to working the day shift instead of the vampire shift. Well, that's caught on. Doesn't matter, we got it out now. Awesome. Yeah, once I get through three of these, because I got three. That's kind of an unusual thing too, is to get three of these back to back. Two of them are in for repair, and then one of them is actually a new build. But I'm going to go ahead and clean this all up, and this afternoon, and get new transistors in it, and then I'm going to possibly put this off to the side because I'm going to switch back and forth, even though it's the same configuration. And I'll probably work on the other 16 pill that I've got. I said I've got several of those that I've got to get done because, like I said, I've got three of them. I actually need to call the customer too, because I think he's going to go from the regular HG 2879s. I believe he is wanting to go with the C's on his 16 pill. So I need to find out from him if he's going to go ahead, because he already paid for the regular, for the regular HGs, but he said something about using the C's in it. So I need to find that out before I drop the transistors in there. But I believe there is a part 1 to his video that I've already got uploaded later on this afternoon. Yeah, this was a straight 16 that I built. I originally built this one for myself, and I had several people that had asked for one, and I sold it to actually another guy that had it for a couple of months, and then he sold it to the owner of the amplifier now. And it's one of those where it's been blowed up now 2 different times. Just really unusual. Most of the damage usually is on the output, and this one, I don't know what he's got going on, because this one had severe damage on the input and the output that was showing. So I have no idea, but I know that he's also told me that he's got 5 or 6 other amplifiers over there, some tube, some transistorized, that he has got blowed up as well. He's wanting the big one done, and then I know he's got an 8-pill that he's wanting fixed. But yeah, I think he's got something going on over there. I know it shouldn't have anything to do with amperage, because he's got a 600 amp power supply that he's running this on. He actually has my old bench supply, which really wasn't planning on selling it, but the guy that bought this and the power supply bought them both at the same time, and then he sold both of them again at the same time to another guy. So as long as he's still using my old shop supply, it is set up at 14.5, so that should be okay for this. Of course, I am liking that 1200 that I built myself. Which that gives me more than enough for most of what I'll build. Because I generally don't like to build anything bigger than a 32. I'll leave the really, really big ones up for somebody else. Mainly because it'd take me a month of Sundays to actually get to it. Because I still work every day, and then come in here and work and spend time with you guys. Yeah. Well, and like I said, the reason why I think he's really got something going on is because I believe he's also got a steel tube amplifier that has detonated as well over there. It's not a big one, but he was talking to me about that whenever he dropped this off. And like I said, I've been waiting weeks, and part of it's just trying to make my connections and get up, and then the switch over and everything to buy the transistors. But I bought brick of transistors, which I've already put some of them away. I still need to put the rest of these away, but I've got some of the other lots that are in my trays. So, but I got, a couple stacks of the 2879s. They're still running 16 D08s. And then, the C's, which now these are the 23 D08s that are going to be going into a couple of amps. But the sad part of it is on the regular 2879s, I've just about got all of them. Sold or spoke for. I've got enough to do like a 6 or an 8 pill as far as out of the last lot that I bought. But I'll get these all put away a little bit later. Like I said, I've got drawers that I put those in and I pull them out whenever I finish up with whatever lot that I'm working on, unless I get down to like 1 or 2, and then I'll put a little tag or something on those, and then I'll use those for the drive sections, where I just need like a 1 pill or something like that until I use up the last of the old lot. There we go. Yeah, 16 soldiers. That's a lot of money. But yeah, having a reflect meter does help as far as to kind of see what's going on. I know everything is, relevant and things like that, but at least you'll be able to see, sudden changes of what's going on. Um, and that's a big part of it. I built myself that 1x4 base here back this last summer that I've been using, and I really enjoy it. But just like everybody else, I'm ready to go up to the next stage, I guess. But I think, because I ordered a brand new antenna because I knew it would take me less time to put it together than what it would to rebuild my cubicle quad. So since I was down at Donkey Stompers, I really checked out that antenna that he's got, and I really would have liked to have had even a bigger one than what I ordered, but I went ahead and ordered a 4-element, which is still a pretty good antenna. I'm still going to be able to talk plenty of skip, I'm sure, with it, but I'm really hoping I can get to that, which I should be able to now, since I'm going to have more weekends off. I'm going to try to get the concrete poured for new pad and my new antenna and tower put up. And I'm going to take down one of my other towers and I'm going to drop it down to about a 30 foot and use it for some monitoring gear. Well, hello, Popcorn. You have no power right now. You mean no electricity type power, or do you mean like no amplifier power? No, I'd say that one's bad. Well, we definitely know that one's bad for sure, guys. No electricity. Yeah, been there, done that. Yep, been there, done that. Okay. Now let's get these cables here out of the way. I'll get some. Come on. I'm gonna get some Q-tips here in a second so we can clean that all out. It's one of the best things here, and I'm glad 3Mate talked me into doing. I went ahead and put a air compressor up in the attic of my shop, mainly because I didn't want to hear it run, and so it didn't take up room. But having this air compressor in here, man, that beats the heck out of the canned compressed air by all means. These other little shards and stuff that we're seeing in here, we'll get those out of there. I wish I had more stuff that was a little handier than across the room, but yeah, it's not that bad. There's only so much that can be within arm's reach on an everyday basis. Oh yeah, that's right. You're on the West Coast. I forgot about that. Yeah, so it's only lunchtime for you guys. Okay. this all cleaned up here. Just switch directions so that the cable will reach. Yeah, I'll get this stuff down a little bit and make it easier to set the transistors flat. It's easier to take the excess away now because we can always add more later. I think that is a sign that the tank is full. Now let's empty this and see if we can't get that stuff out. Well, that is made by Ayu. It is essentially a generic version of the Heiko. That's what that is. It's actually a very, very good brand, believe it or not. This makes the second one I've had in 18 years. And the other one, the only reason why I got rid of it, which it still worked, I actually sold it to a friend of mine. And I actually like the old one better than the new one, but the new one is able to do a couple different features because I had to go back to having air available, and I also had to have a I didn't have to have, but I wanted the air, and I also wanted another soldering station itself, and this is a 3-in-1 combo. So, you know, for light duty work, the soldering part of it works great. So the desoldering tool works great, and the hot air for small SMD parts and things like that, it works very good as well. So UDX 294 Black Duck. Good afternoon. Yeah. Worst case scenario, that thing was so full, if I'm not able to vacuum it out, I may have to drill and retap that. The rest of them will pick out. I'll have to. Come on, you're loose. Come on. There you go. Yeah, this one's wanting to be a booger. Didn't think too much about it, but I am now. Thankfully, I've got the right size drill bit, and it's just lead, so it's not going to be a major issue or anything like that. It should be the right size. Yeah. Once in a while. There we go. Now I'll retap that, clean up the threads. This thing's going to go through about 40 bajillion blowouts before we ever call it good. We'll spend quite a bit of time picking and cleaning and all that good stuff. And there we are. Voila. So I knew it wouldn't take much to cut the lead, quite literally the lead out of it. It's been a long time though since I've had a solder blob actually drop down into the actual hole itself. That kind of sucks. I didn't even know popcorn was on the radio yesterday. I don't know what channel you guys run over there, but I mean, I'm usually monitoring 28 myself. All right, so we got those cleaned out. I'm just going to keep on going down the line, and then once I get the transistors in, I'll probably go ahead and drop the brand new 10 ohms. Without even looking, I'm thinking I found like five or six of the 10 ohms were blowed. And once you've got a couple different lots of transistors in there, and as badly, like I said, as badly damaged as what it was, which we'll take a look at that here in just a few minutes. I'll grab the transistor tester and we'll see what we've even got left for potentially usable transistors that he's got. I mean, I'm not going to put them in there, but yeah, see my bald spot? Yeah, I actually need another haircut again, believe it or not. At least I think I do. Once it gets so long, I don't really care for it. And popcorn, you're like me, buddy. You ain't allowed to get sick. Remember, that's only 3 May that's allowed to get sick. You get all that jizz out of the holes, and we'll blow it out again and check for some tick turds. sure there's nothing sticking out that we don't want in the way. I've found that it's best to take a little pick or something right along the pill strips here. And kind of scratch them. Sometimes I had one that went round and round for 3 days over a little teeny tiny piece of solder that I had to put my magnifying bifocals on to find. Because it didn't do it if I just did radio drive. It worked beautiful, amp ran good. But once it started getting some RF, where you introduce like a 1 pill, 2 pill, or something like that into the amplifier, that little piece made enough of a capacitive inductance that it was causing things to get way out of imbalance. And it took me 3 days, and I had talked to BBI 2 of the 3 days on that amplifier, and talked to another builder, and we all went through the same thing, going through and going through and going through, as far as, possibilities, what could be, da 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 da, because after 3 days, you kind of sit there and scratch your head and wonder, man, what can it be? Especially whenever you've been in and out of these things enough but that's all it was, just microscopic little piece. It's one of those that I'm glad that I've got other builders to talk to, because we all whether we want to admit it or not, we all have something that stumps us, even if it's just for a little while, and it kind of gets aggravating, especially whenever you pretty much know what to look for and what not to look for, and things like that, and bounce an idea off somebody's head. It really does help. So, thankfully, I've been very blessed with a lot of good builders that I'm friends with for stuff like that. R6QWEQ box. Not hooked up to the Washington. Okay. It's 3Mate's fault. Yeah, we'll blame 3Mate. Doesn't matter what it is. Bad weather, we'll blame it on 3Mate. Good weather, we'll blame it on 3Mate. Takes too long for the amp to be fixed, we'll blame it on 3Mate. Alrighty. Let's see. Come on. know it ain't gonna help, but I'm gonna try it anyways. We're gonna put a pair of gloves on for this. I don't know why I'm bothering, because well, anytime you're dealing with this moose juice, this stuff gets everywhere. All you gotta do is look at a tube of it. See? Look at it now. I've even got it on my fingers now. But we're gonna try to reduce. We're gonna try to at least reduce some of it. We're actually gonna flip these upside down. Yes, originally I built this back in 2019, and it's changed hands a couple of different times. There, we'll get the glare off of it. But yes, I built this back in 2019. And so it's been through a couple of different hands and another repair from somebody else other than me. So, but this time, like I said, it's been kind of over detonated. All I can say is he must have been talking some pretty daggone good skip to keep it hammered down to burn every resistor in this. Yeah, like I said, I'm just sad whenever something like this happens, but yeah, there's nothing you can do about it other than repair it and keep on going. Kind of enjoyed this build though too. Back whenever I did this one, this was my first straight 16 that I had built. So I mean, I use the oversized cabinet and the whole 9 yards because I built it to try to make it last. But like I said, originally I built this one for myself, and I had it sitting on the shelf, and I never actually put it into use other than talking on it one time whenever I got it all tuned out and ready to go. And like I said, it's been through you know 2 different hands, and then it's had somebody else try to repair it. And quite a few things I think quite a few things got botched, so that's the reason why I ripped out the input and output coils on it for the network, and I'm just gonna build brand new ones and put in there because I'm not gonna fight with since somebody else had you know done what they did. I'm not gonna fight with it. Oops. There we go. Fit a little tight. S3 has a compression circuit. Well, hello, Skip Shooter. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so far it's been a pretty good Sunday. It's been peaceful here at the house. I've got quite a bit done. I finished up another amp earlier this afternoon. Got everything boxed, ready to go there. So I got 2 amps that'll ship out hopefully tomorrow. I got to find out what the shipping's going to be so I can call them with a price, but I've got them all boxed up and ready to go otherwise. So I got that taken care of. I got an order for Donkey Stomper ready to go, which as soon as I get these pills in here, I'll show you guys what I am shipping him because it is something new that nobody else has. The only other person that has it at this time is me. Oh, they didn't give you an ETA as far as on your electric? I know here the other day mine went out and they gave me an ETA of 3 hours, and then they came back and gave me an ETA of 8 hours, and then thankfully they had it on in 4 hours. So I was kind of happy that it didn't take the 8 hours. So I didn't get anything done that day. But as long as a man has a grill, he will not starve. He will have a hot meal. And if that doesn't work, well, there's always Dairy Queen. That's what I was trying not to do. Want that on the tabs. One of the things I haven't seen any builders build in a long time, something I haven't had a call for in about 4 years, and that's a 3-pill, one drive and two. But I think with all the new radios that we've got out here on the market now too, that's kind of an extinct amplifier. As far as people using, I remember, that used to be a really big amp for everybody to use back in the day. It was a little 3-pill. Well, that's something I haven't seen anybody use in a very, very long time. Okay. Must be the hole that fits a little tight. Okay. Now let's find out that other thing here. Set these back down in here. All right. Goes down in there. Yeah, now I've built a lot of 1x4s with the 2879s. Yeah, usually on the 3-pills. Usually I always use the 2290 for my driver. I have seen a few of them with the 2879 in them for the driver, which you almost have to be using that for competition because that's so hard to control. Unless your rig is just right. Get over here. I'm going to show you guys something here. It's kind of new. Okay. So if you guys need RG316, I do have about 700 feet that's available that I got in the other day. I've got about 700 feet of the regular RG316 if you guys need any. And I've already sold a huge chunk of this, so I've only got about 400 feet of what I'm getting ready to show you guys. But it is something that you probably have never seen in an amplifier. Yeah. It looks like a piece of blue Teflon wire. Well, I special ordered this because they only make it a few times a year. And I bought all that I could afford to buy at the time. And I'm holding back a few hundred feet of it for myself, but RG316. And the camera really doesn't do this justice, but it is a very, very beautiful blue. But I do have 400 feet of the RG316 in blue. Now, granted, you can melt this just because of the fact that it is a very thin piece of Teflon. But as you can see, it is Teflon. We're still hot here. If I set it on there for a long period of time, it will melt. Let's see if we can get the piece of solder off of it. But it doesn't melt. Yeah, I know that this camera sucks. This thing's getting ready to be retired probably after this video. It's just I didn't want to have to move everything around, and it was just easy to plug this one back in. But yeah, it holds up really well to heat. Which there again, everything that I've been buying from this one company has been extraordinarily good. So, but very, very flexible. It is fresh because they've just made it, but I was able to get in on that. So it's going to be something different. But you're going to see that in some of the Donkey Stomper builds here coming up and some of mine. Yeah, well, and that's kind of where I'm at. Is I run a direct inject, and I'm old school. I've got mine set up with regular mixing board and stuff. I don't do the audio into digital and then back into an analog signal, through the computer and microprocessors and stuff like that. I do mine the old school or the old fashioned way with the with the mixing board on my audio. But that's kind of what I prefer. I don't want to sit there and have to run through the computer itself. Yeah, like I said, that's what I prefer is the rack gear. I know there's a lot of guys that are doing the whole digital thing, and I got a local that he's getting ready to set his all up again here before too much longer, and that's what he's wanting to do. Is he's wanting to go all digital with his, and there's nothing wrong with it, but if you don't have a super fast computer in order to process everything, it makes it very, very difficult from what I've seen. but you know, there's a lot of people that sound great on it, but you know, I'm not a I'm not a techno geek when it comes to the computer, and that's part of the reason why I like the old analog and rack mount gear. You know, it's stuff that I remember from back in the '70s and '80s as a kid growing up, and uh, what I know and how to use. So that's the main reason why I've used it. But all right, guys, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take a break from this for right now. So I'm going to go in and get me a little bit of something to eat, and I'll come back. I'll put the screws in, get these mounted down and soldered in, and go to the next stage here on this. But anyways, it's been great being here with you guys. Like I said, I wanted to get in here and visit with everybody for a little while. But if you would, if you'd like the videos and stuff, like I said, please hit the like and subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate it. We do have a super chat that's available here now as well. Um, Also, if you'd like, you can also, send us a super chat for support here on the video as well. And if you would, we'd greatly appreciate it if you'd check us out on patreon.com. I've been slowly putting more and more videos up. It is kind of a crawl at this point, mainly because of the fact that I've been focusing primarily on getting a lot of these big repairs out. Like I said, I've got two of these back to back that are for repair, and then I've got a fresh build that we're going to be doing for another guy. But I'll get these out of the way, and then I've got later on this summer, I've got a unique project that we're going to be starting on too. So feel free to give us a shout right here. We'd greatly appreciate it. All right, everybody, you take care. God bless. Skip Shooter, Popcorn, Three Made, Black Duck, whoever else is out there. Take care and have a great weekend. We'll catch you on the next video.